preview, illustrious preview of the Clemson and Louisiana Tech. Going to go on this coming Saturday. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be glorious. Everybody's going to be glad the sun ain't beating down on them and burning half their skin. And in 15 years, have to cut cancer off of them. Brand new here, I'm Bobby Dirkens. If you ain't lazy, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Even if you are lazy, get your caregiver to do it. Good to see all you getting in here. It's a live stream for anyone who's watching in the future. Also, if you want to support the channel, I'm going to be putting a link down here. Check it out. You can go there and you can subscribe and all this bunch of stuff and support me. Also want to give a public service announcement. There's a little dweeb running around called Not Bobby Dirkens. Not Bobby Dirkens. I don't like this guy. What is there to like about this cat? I bet he's the type who shaves his neck in the shower. I bet he's the type who wears long sleeves out in the sun. I mean, what an idiot. So don't go check him out. Don't check out Not Bobby Dirkens. What a loser. Well, I'm going to dive right into this Clemson Louisiana Tech game. If you're anything like me, you know that Clemson did not play inspired football against Furman. The shocker was that the defense just seemingly didn't care to be there. I mean, if someone would have told me they went and got a bunch of boys who kind of looked like them, put them out there and said, look, we're playing Furman. We're just going to try to get out of this game. Me and the boys are going to go down here to the SO Club and pick up some honeys. I would have believed it. Because Furman actually completed like 21 of their first 25 passes or something like that. It was ridiculous. The guy who even played for him barely played. He's a transfer guy from Presbyterian College. And I never knew Presbyterians played football. But hey, all I knew they did was drink. Like, I mean, a fish. But anyway, if you're Presbyterian out there and you're getting offended, yeah, I'm probably talking about you. Only place I know where they have church and AA meeting all at one time. Anyway, but they picked them apart. Clemson didn't seem like they cared to be there. I did my post-game video. What's there really to say about Furman? Okay? What is it? I said that Furman's offensive line looked better than our offensive line. You got to consider who was going against who. Furman's defensive line is nothing compared to our defensive line. And our O-line was having problems with it. But we still won the ball game. 35-12. Me and Bobby Dirkens Jr. hung out. I saw Chase Henderson. I blessed his baby. That young lady right there is going to do great things after I picked her up. Nearly dropped her, but I still picked her up. And shook her. And blessed her. And after she threw up on me, we cleaned it off. And I was okay and she was okay. Everything was fine. Clemson plays Louisiana Tech this week. We know that Louisiana Tech is not really a big threat. They're 1-1 so far. They lost to, I think it was Missouri or Wyoming or somebody like that. I hadn't even looked at your schedule, but let me see. They lost to Missouri, of all people. They lost 52-24, which means they don't have much of a defense. Clemson right now is a 34-point favorite on this game. This is another glorified practice for Clemson, but the heat is turning up. Obviously, Louisiana Tech's a better football team than Furman, or at least we'd hope so for the university. And if you're looking for in-depth analysis from me about Louisiana Tech, you're in the wrong place, Wojo. You need to leave. What do you want me to break down? Well, the Bulldogs come in sporting a 6'5". Everybody's got a 6'5" giant on their team. Everybody. You go down to local high school. There's some kid, might be goofy as piss, picks his nose and eats it in the 12th grade. He's on the football team. Doesn't make him a good football player. They've always got one player who probably got in trouble with the law. Had he not gotten in trouble with the law, he would be in the annals of college football. But he's playing at Louisiana Tech. I mean, my Lord. Big key here for anybody who's watching this is probably a Clemson fan. Anybody who's going to have to play us. And you want me to show up and talk to you and stuff? Well, here it is. The truth is, Clemson has got to go into this game and they got to fix their offensive line play. Offensive line play. Listen to me. If you on the O-line, you're like, do you think you can do better than me? No, I don't. But I'm not on scholarship playing at one of the top schools in the country. Do you not get that? The point is, the games are getting increasingly more tough. This will be game number 3 for those who can count. 3, the number right after the number 2, but definitely previous to number 4. Unless you're doing all those decimals and stuff. That's when my head gets hurt and I'm like, I don't care. It's a number. Until you get to gas. You get to gas, that's a whole other thing. Had to mortgage my hair to pay for gas every day. Another subject, but here's the thing. If our offensive line can't start pulling it together this week, next week's going to be a little tougher. Now, Wake Forest is, I know everybody's glad Hartman's back. I'm glad Hartman's back for him. Clawson does good what he's worked with. Let's be honest with ourselves. If Clemson wins the Wake Forest game by any less than 14 points, it could be a problem. All right? Because the next week we got NC State coming into the Valley. All right? Now, that's my seat making that. I ain't breaking wind. Though I couldn't lie about it because then you would think it's my seat. Don't know. Offensive line play about knocked over my computer. My offensive line play's got to get better. DJ, I know it was Furman, but y'all all know I'm the bearer of truth, y'all. You want undefiled, unmolested truth? These are the eyes that will tell it to you. These are the mouths that you will hear the words come out of. Thing is, DJ throwing pretty good. Our wide receivers got to catch better, except for Bo Collins, Antonio Williams, and Davis Allen. Them boys, they catching the football. Everybody else, it's like they're coming out there with their hands taped to their chest. Like you know when you're a little kid and you like to, for some reason, you go into a section in a store where there's breakables, and all of a sudden you had this urge that you couldn't explain to start slinging your arms. And then you did, say I dropped something. People start going, oh, don't do that. Caught your arm and a leg, literally. And they were like, put your hands in your pockets. These wide receivers are playing like they got their hands in their pockets. You got to step your game up, son. I know Notre Dame, you got to play them, and apparently, I heard the touchdown Jesus on the library behind there, it's going like this, in the arms of glory. He's now folded them. He's giving them the, you've been looking at dirty stuff on the computer again, look. I would talk about the priest, but that is just such low-hanging fruit. But you still got to play Miami. You still got to play North Carolina State, which we should win. We should have won that game last year. Lord, they tried to lose, and they messed up and won. Syracuse is doing better than what we thought. Florida State seems to somewhat improve. Now, remember, when I say this, y'all, this is going into week 3. I'm not sitting here prophetically screaming the Red Sea's part, and here comes the Seminoles. I'm just saying that they're looking a little better than what we first thought. So we can't be playing around here. Well, you got to get better every week. What is bothering me is that DJ seems to be getting a little better. And we'll see this week. He might go up through 3 picks, and there we go. I'm not saying he's completely back. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But he has got better. As the competition becomes more difficult, we'll see how far he's progressed. But he definitely does not seem to have regressed. Keys for this game, football team, listen to me. On the offensive side of the ball, you got to get that offensive line blocking. They're big and massive. And unless the only purpose in their life is to shop in the big and tall men's section of a store or put buffet restaurants completely and totally out of business, they need to use their size to go out there and block for the quarterback. They're on full scholarship to block Yes, I know. Take your big tail around that corner and hit that guy so hard, he starts to talk with a hair lip. He's like, then just a second ago, he could speak totally fine. Well, most of them. But that's what I'm telling you. You gotta go out there and block. It doesn't matter. Wide receivers, the rest of them, you got to go out there and catch a ball. E.J. Williams, 2 years ago, you looked incredible. What's going on, son? You don't want to be at Clemson anymore? Are you sick? Have you got the poo-poos? I'm a big fan of yours. I was really excited to see you. Got to see you get more aggressive, pal, because if you do, you've got big things ahead of you. Joseph and God, I know he's gaining a lot of attention, but you got to fight through that and continue to get your yards and go for it. But we got a good receiving crew, got good boys. I'm proud of them. Running backs, they can only do as much as those guys up front will let them. I mean, they really, really can. So we're at their mercy. Defense, get on the field, knock them backwards. Goodwin, they're looking to you for the leadership, man. I saw where Root L-A said, we should have noticed what they were doing. Root, I agree with you to a point, but most of all, your coach should have noticed it. If I'm sitting up there in the stands, I'm up there, I'm having to get, binoculars out because y'all look like a bunch of midgets playing. It's kind of funny if you think about it. It's like, hey, it's kind of around the wobbly. But if I can see that they're taking advantage of y'all blitzing, you got to fake a blitz and drop back. Your local county cat killer here can know that. The guy they're paying a lot of money to do it, who everybody said he could be in the NFL and, this, that, and the other, he should be realizing that. And y'all need to verbalize it. That's a new term I've learned in counseling. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. It was county-ordered counseling. They thought I'd shot too many cats and it did something to my brain. And all of a sudden, I was going to go on a rampage or something. Look, I was just joking about it through text messages and accidentally sent a text message to someone who I was not supposed to send it to. Mainly the mayor of the town. But anyway. You got to go back to your coach and tell him what you're saying. Because good players that are leaders on the field you hear about, they go back to their coaches and they say, this is what I'm saying. Now, if somebody's ignoring you, that's another thing. But if you start to see it, I've never played defensive line a day in my life, never played on the defense a day in my life, but I have watched more ball than I can imagine. I can recount. Death Valley doesn't have enough toes and fingers to count out how many times I've watched football. Anytime somebody is blitzing, Donner blitzing, and, Rudolph and all them, they're going to hit the screen. That's what a screen's supposed to do. It's take advantage of your overzealous nature to come in there and kill the quarterback. That's the goal of the defensive line, and the blitzing linebacker. What do? You make them pay for that. Well, it happened over and over and over and over again. That is a point of emphasis against Louisiana Tech. If I'm Louisiana Tech, I'm going to take little Furmans. I'm going to take their little football plays and then I'm going to just use it against you. And if I'm Wake Forest, I'm going to take Furman's football plays and I'm going to use them against you. And if I'm NC State, need I keep going? You gave them a blueprint that you could not make the adjustment on the fly. And that was kind of shocking. But, hey, look, the London Bridge ain't burning down yet. But there is some lit cigarette butts tossed aside and they smoking. And you never know when that sucker might catch a blaze. The defense got to get out there. You got to get these boys off the field. If you're playing elite football like you're supposed to be playing elite football, this game, and I got my computer right here, that's why I keep pointing. I hadn't lost it completely. It's like, here's my thin rosy. I'm not doing that. But if you're going to play a game like this, you have got to do it and be aggressive Beat a bad team bad. You know I'm always going to beat that drum. You've got to beat a bad team bad. Period. Listen, y'all, I know somebody was in here going, why didn't you do a reaction video to Texas and so on? I was at the game Saturday, and by the time I got back, Lord, I was worn out. The next day, I had a birthday party to go sing at, and went to see my grandma. She beat my papa with her arm, broke it, and, just wanted to make sure she's okay. And he's healing up quite well as well. It's funny that old woman can swing that hard. Scary. All right, well, listen, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Clemson's going to win this ball game. I'm looking at another 35-10, maybe 40-10, somewhere in there. I think Clemson's defense plays unenthusiastic football. Hopefully, they'll fix the screen thing. And on the offensive side, we'll continue to see DJ grow. We'll see the offensive line realize, hey, we're 6'3", 300 pounds. We might want to use our weight and strength to move these boys. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I'll keep showing out.